Hello everybody. We're at Jekyll Island, Georgia today. Come on, Ruthie. Jekyll Island, Georgia. Decided we'd come on and do a little bike ride. There's all kind of neat things here in Jekyll. It's kind of one of those islands that the state decided not to let get too commercialized. It's pretty cool. A lot of history here. Some things that maybe weren't so good, depending on how you look at it, were started here. And lots of old mansions. A lot of money used to come here. When I say money, a lot of wealthy people had some homes, vacation homes here. Wasn't a bridge onto the island for, I don't know, it's probably had a bridge going over to Jekyll for probably something like 60 years, 50, 60 years, I don't know. But they used to have to take a ferry over. And so only the wealthy, for the most part, would come over here. But these mansions that are here. This is an interesting one here to speak of. This house is the Indian Mound Cottage. No cottage at all. That thing's like a mansion. I've heard, I used to work here. I was a bellman at a hotel that's right up here. And I heard a lot of stories. But the Indian Mound, why is it called Indian Mound Cottage? They say it was built on top of an old Indian mound, burial ground. And, you know, I don't really get into this stuff, but they say that it's haunted because of it was built on top of that burial ground. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. There's also something pretty cool, if I don't get run over by this car, that you've ever heard of JP Morgan? Yeah, JP Morgan Chase. Well, JP Morgan was one of the wealthy people that came over here many years ago. And if you'll look at this green building right here, this belonged to JP Morgan. This was built by him. This was, I think, America's first condominium. Sans Souci. But yeah, very interesting place over here on Jekyll. Like I say, there's something that happened right over here in this hotel that I'll go tell you about here in a second that you'll probably find really interesting. Look at these trees. I'm on my bike, so this is not the easiest. These old live oaks, how they just go all the way down to the ground and they begin to grow into the ground. So yeah, that's really neat. This is a beautiful island. This is the Jekyll Island Club Hotel. Like I say, I was a bellman here for a short time. Wasn't my most sought after job, but there was something in this building over here with the flag that went on a long time ago that I'll talk to you about in just a few minutes. So everybody knows if you've got enough money and you like to play tennis, you would build an indoor tennis court back in the early 1900s. And that's what JP Morgan did. This is Sans Souci right here. This is the condominium that JP Morgan had built. I almost said that he built, but you know, he didn't build anything. Anyway, he had built Sans Souci, and then this was the indoor tennis court that went along with that house or that condo. It's now called the Morgan Center. It's somewhat of an event center, but this is the original structure. And yeah, again, if you got enough money, why not, I guess. And then there's a little sweet shop that my family's in. There's Ruthie, there's my wife Heather, and then there's Ellie. Are they closed? No, you want ice cream? An ice cream? That sounds good. All right, so we'll go into sweet shop. Golly, look at the size of the chimney for that thing. I guess this was like a boiler house or something for the I don't know. Anyway, it's got a gigantic chimney. I got to go around back and see what that's all about. Yeah, I'm not sure, but that is a really big chimney for such a small building. I don't know what they had going on here, but they were cooking something for sure. All right, let's get an ice cream. All right, so this was the boiler house for San Susie. I was right. I knew it had to be some kind of boiler because of that stack. So we're gonna get an ice cream. I'm going to get the Dutch chocolate by Bluebell. And then they make all these fudges or chocolates here in the boiler house. They even make little sea turtles and alligators because sea turtles are, there you go, there's just some alligators, fresh made alligators. Yeah, sea turtles are, they have a sea turtle thing here. There's a lot of sea turtles that will nest on the beach. So they have, that's really big around here. I don't know if we'll make it over there or not, but anyway, cool. Let's get an ice cream and eat it. All right, so I got the Dutch chocolate, very good, and I got a turtle, which is a little ironic that they sell turtles to eat when they're so protective of the turtles here on this island. Anyway. Do you know the Bluebell ice cream jingle? Something like, I'm not going to sing it. But anyway, this is Bluebell ice cream. And this is a turtle. Very good turtle. Doesn't taste like a sea turtle. Tastes more like a chocolate turtle. All right, so I mentioned that something happened in there, right in that hotel, right in here, right in this door, right over here. And I'll carry you inside there and show you. Something happened here around 1910 that changed the way the United States banking system worked. And I think a vast majority of people would say probably not for the good. There was a secret meeting. You notice there's a river out here. There was no bridge, of course. Back then, they would have to come over. Some of the most elite, wealthy people. Remember J.P. Morgan over here? Those type of elite people came over here, 1910. They had a secret meeting. They said that it was so secret that they even went by code names. They didn't even use their real names. I don't know. Maybe that's folklore. I'm not sure. But they didn't even use their names. But they met right in this room in here. I'm about to go show you. And they started something. They came up with this idea called the Federal Reserve. Some people just cringe when they hear that word. There was a book written about it. A man wrote a book called The Monster from Jekyll Island. It talks about that, the monster being the Federal Reserve banking system. But let's go inside and I'll show you that room, or at least the outside of it, where they met. All right, so in these doors lies some of the most evil that's ever happened in America. So in the grandeur of this hallway here, as you're walking, you see all the pictures of the old houses, and you see mirrors of yourself, and then you come to a door that says Federal Reserve. And right inside that door is where it happened. It happened as the men were in here having their cigars, drinking their very expensive whiskeys, and they concocted a plan that would overrule the nation's financial system and forever compromise and cripple everything about your money. That's what I've heard. I really don't even understand how it works, but anyway. Yeah, these men, I think that's J.P. Morgan there. No, there he is right there. That's Mr. Morgan on the left. But there's a lot of history that happened in this building. And it is a magnificent, beautiful building. I worked in here before. But sometimes, just because something's pretty doesn't mean it's good. She wants to press the button. All right, So what we'll do, we'll keep riding. I got something else I want to show you. It's pretty cool, so stick around. Be right back. So this house used to belong to Mr. Crane, C-R-A-N-E. Mr. Crane was a plumber. I guess he was a plumber, because if you go to some restrooms and look at the brand of the toilets, they'll say Crane on them. Well, guess who this is? Same guy. This is a restaurant now and a hotel also, but it was what these people did, these rich, wealthy people. They would build these big houses and have, you know, tons of bedrooms, because they could have all their friends over. It's starting to rain. They could have other friends over. And now this is a cool one. And when I worked as a bellman, we would also help have people come there. This house, I'm not so sure. It's the Cherokee Cottage. Not sure who owned it, but inside is the most awesome looking smoking like a man's room. So when you walk into the door, this corner room here is all wood, and it's just like, I could see myself sitting in there. It'd be so cool. And then if we can make our way past, they're putting up an event tent here. This chapel looks like they're having some construction on it. Just got some creepy gothic things coming out of it. Something cool happened here back in the maybe the 90s, sometime back in the 90s. I gotta get off this bicycle. Oh gosh. So let me wipe off my. So back in the 90s, about this angle here, you'll see this. Reba McEntire, the country singer Reba McEntire, did a video here. I only want to ride with you, or something like that. Maybe I'll flash it up on the screen if I can remember. But anyway, just about this this angle here. That's the little chapel that was in the video. Very cool. And of course the beach and all that stuff. But yeah, we're gonna get caught in the rain. Everybody's melting.
I think we can go.
So have you ever heard the old saying, you got to work the bugs out of it? You've probably heard it sometime or another. Got to work the bugs out of it. And then when you come to Jekyll, or any place down here on the eastern coast of Georgia, Savannah, all these places, these big live oaks, you'll see all this moss hanging. And what does that have to do with working the bugs out of it? Henry Ford was very innovative, trying to build the Ford Model T to be as cheap as possible for the American people. Did a great job at that. But looking for cushioning for the seats, he decided to try Spanish moss. And Spanish moss, if you piled enough of it together, it would be nice and soft. But what they didn't realize is it's full of red bug chiggers. And they would say, now again, this is stories, folklore, to say that people would buy a Model T when he was packing the seats full of the Spanish moss, and they would say you have to work the bugs out of it, because they would be eaten alive practically by the red bugs that were in the Spanish moss. So maybe it's true, maybe it's not, but it sounds cool. I hear an airplane flying really low. Yeah, cool place, Jekyll Island it is. Me and my bicycle and my family, there they are, found them. So something here that I've never seen before. Actually, I was just here just a few weeks ago. See that house right over there? It's Ospo or whatever. Been to 2 weddings there. Just a wedding here recently attended. But never noticed this. There's a monument here. There's 2 monuments actually. The one with a pelican. And then there's one here. It says, these 13 live oak trees were planted October 1976. Guess what? I was born in October of 1976. Isn't that cool? During our bicentennial celebration by the Jekyll Island Garden Club in commemoration of the 13 original colonies. So 13 trees, eh? Let's start counting right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and lucky number 13 here. Huh. And then this little thing is it looked like it would have been old pilings from a dock. Obviously it's like made from cement. And an old pelican. Those are so often seen around here. And this was something about, it was erected in 1975 by Friends of the Environment to honor the memory of Cecily B. Masters of Jekyll Island. He was a naturalist or something like that. I'm not going to let this video run long. I got other stuff we're going to go look at. This is about a 15-mile ride all the way around. And I told them that we were going to ride the whole island. I don't know. It was trying to sprinkle rain, but anyway. There's some other things down the road, and the beach also that's on the other side of the island, so we may go see that too. But I'm going to end this video here and probably find shelter because it's starting to rain again. But thanks for watching, and I appreciate all of your support. Don't forget to subscribe if you hadn't. Liked the video, helps me out tremendously. And we will see you just really shortly on the next Jekyll Island adventure video. So take care. Bye.